we all hear that Indians have to pay over for the men and all that. My mom pulled on the side and said, how much are they paying?
He felt some of the burden of that wedding or whatever, because people said, oh, you're marrying an Indian, you brought Indians here, you have money.
I think it was in 2020. I used to work at a certain place in Durban North, and she also started working there. And then I saw her. She's beautiful, as you can see. And then I told one of my friends that I'm going to make her my wife, jokingly.
Yeah, we would see each other all the time, but of course, I think as a woman, when you're not interested in someone, you don't really notice them. So yeah, it was like that until he had asked for my number or something. And then yeah, I guess that brought us here now. I didn't really think much because I wasn't that interested. But once I got to know him, I saw that he was a kind person, because we don't really get that nowadays. So being with Isaac has shown me that there is someone who can care for you other than you caring for yourself. Because obviously we've had past relationships, but the lessons in them were obviously heartbreak, stuff that wouldn't have brought us here now. Being with my partner, he has taught me a lot. He's shown me that having someone by your side is very, very much important, more than we'd like to admit.
She's too caring, and that's one thing. For me, it was like I care, but I don't, the way I show love is different. It's not like, I love you, or, that kind of thing. And being with her has really brought me into that, and every now and then she'll come and, and hug me or ask me about my day. But those are the things that I was never into. Like, it wouldn't mean a lot, but now when you come from work and someone asks you, how's your day? How are things, Like, that's something I look forward to every time I go home, So she's changed the way I feel about love.
For me, the cultural differences would have been during our talking phases or whatever it was, but it would be the communication. Like, I don't know if that fits under the cultural part of it, but communication was so hard for us in the beginning. Because where I come from, we talk a lot. We basically voice our opinions, out loud. And where he comes from, it's kept to themselves. So that was difficult for us in the beginning. It took a lot, even when we had decided to move in with each other and start our journey together and all of that. It was very, very difficult.
And for the phone calls as well, I send you a message like, good morning, how are you? I'm going to work. That's that was okay. But with her, it's okay, I'm going to eat now. Doing this, I'm doing that.
Exposing me.
She got to a time where she got tired of asking me, because I don't ask her, or maybe sometimes I could express that I'm not feeling okay with it, but I also enjoyed it. And then she would stop asking me, how are you, what are you doing? And then it would end up that issues. Their weddings, they're different. And I'm a Christian, so we just do a simple church wedding and that's it. Even though she's a Christian, but there were certain norms that had to be followed. Given the situations that we're in, you moved in before you could get married, so things had to be rushed in a
sense, yeah.
So we didn't get to follow most of the things, and I think she gets a lot of backlash from her family, because of that.
There's also time periods where your partner or soon-to-be partner should be introduced to your family and they need to approve, and obviously the race thing comes in there as well. It's not religion-wise, it's more of a culture thing where the guy would have to gift gold, as you were saying, probably bangles or earrings to the elderly women in our families. Yeah, that kind of thing. And we did not follow any of them.
Skipped it because
all of them. All of them. We actually just went to Uganda and got married. So
We had our wedding in my country. It was in a joking way, right? Like we all hear that in India, like Indians have to pay over for their men and all that. And so my mom pulled me on the side and said, "How much are they paying?"
well, it's not like that. But in India, it's a dowry that a woman pays to get married.
So her mom asked me, and then her brother, went with her brother and
Oh, yeah.
his wife,
Yeah.
and she said, "No, we're South Africans. You have to pay." Well, if it's a traditional wedding, you have to pay, but it's not. I think it's an agreement between the two families. You know, you could pay 2 cows, 3 cows, 7 or 5, but I don't pay. My father is the one who's supposed to pay. So if I pick a wife and then I say, okay, I'll take you to my family, then my father will come and pay.
I wish your father was alive. He was gonna pay for you. For my friends, we didn't have much of an issue. I think they knew Isaac by then. So even when we got to the part of being serious, it was okay. But obviously, from my family side, it was a bit hectic. They didn't outright say we don't approve or something, but of course that stigma that he's a black man and we've never had that in my family of different race, someone getting married to a different race and stuff. So it was a bit painful for me because I sort of had to detach from a lot of people in order to pursue my relationship and make sure that it works out for us. One of the most heartbreaking things that I ever experienced with my family is when I had spoke to my parents and told them I'm moving out. By then I had already fallen pregnant. So I have a stepdad who's been in my life ever since I was a little girl. So he was quite disappointed in me at that time. And so when Isaac came to fetch me, he refused to acknowledge him. I don't think it was the fact that he was a black man. I just think that even when Isaac greeted him, tried to talk to him, he just completely phased him out.
She was in a relationship with another guy. And I think as they did there, the Indian and the family knew the guy and stuff. And they're all, they planned their marriages and everything in the long run. But I think she wasn't happy in a certain sense. It was just playing around to see,
where we go.
Her friends knew me and they knew the boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, they kind of didn't want to approve our relationship. And then the parents knew the guy and all. And then there was this one day, she was coming, and then her friend told her, "If you're going to see him, I'm going to tell your boyfriend," something like that. I'll call him and tell him. We dated, I think, for 3 months, if not 2, and that's when she fell pregnant. So for her to tell her family, it wasn't a choice, actually. It was never a choice.
It was a must.
It was a must. I think before the pregnancy, we had problems between us and we used to struggle. She was scared on how she would tell her parents,
And also the race thing. I think that was the biggest.
Yes. And that was before she could fall pregnant.
Yeah.
Say, our thing can't work out. Or tell people, with parents, that I'm now dating a black man. But the pregnancy came in as a something. I wasn't prepared for it, but when it came, it made our relationship more easy. Gave her the strength to tell her parents that I'm pregnant and so on, so is the husband. We loved each other, but it also used to be a lot of fights because you're trying to learn, on each other. Even though we were staying together, she was pregnant, we were staying together, but okay, is this a person I want to spend the rest of my life?
You have to ask those questions.
We fight a lot.
There was a lot of my family members, like cousins, even my sibling. Everyone was concerned that he wouldn't be around, because there's also another stigma attached to black men having babies, running away. So yeah, that was one of the things. Like I kept on getting negative comments about our relationship. Don't do that. He's not a good partner. Don't move in with him. He won't treat you right. You won't be able to become independent. All of that. So, but I will say my mother was very supportive. Like she could talk to me on the side without anyone knowing. She could check up on me to check if I'm okay and stuff. But like other people, they really didn't approve or they weren't okay with it. But once I think baby was born, everybody got together. I think they started accepting that this is how things are going to be. Being a foreigner also played a huge part because they were like, what if he's marrying you, or what if he wants to marry you just for citizenship, And I think somehow that also, I won't say it played a huge factor into why we haven't got married, why we didn't get married immediately, but him being a foreigner, it did bring up a lot of questions, even from like maybe my colleagues, stuff like, oh, why would you fall pregnant for a foreigner? He won't be around anyway. He's going to leave. Or what if he has a wife back home? Or what if he has like so many kids back home? What if his family doesn't accept you, Like, also like when we were getting married before, because obviously I had to inform them at work and stuff to say that I'm going to Uganda, and everyone was like, oh my God, are you sure? Are you sure? Is it safe for you? I don't know if it was safe at that time, but I took the chance. But I was treated so nice. By the time we had decided to get married, my immediate family had approved. They were okay with him, and they do have a good relationship with him now. So when I was going to Uganda, I went with my brother and his wife, my sister-in-law. They accompanied us for our wedding. It was nice. It was a good experience.
As a foreigner, you know how foreigners are treated. I think in any country, there's a certain way they see a foreigner, not only here. So I've been going through that, and with her, it used to happen. More so, like if I was a black man and I was a Zulu or any other race, tribe, South African, I don't think it would have been as bad as it was for me, And then I remember one of my cousins said, and he's a foreigner, it puts you in a situation of trying to prove, you're not this type of person, Her father didn't want to talk to me, and he didn't like me at all at the beginning. But yeah, right now he's one of our best friends.
From my side, when it came to like family and friends, my way of protecting us, our relationship, and what we were trying to work out for the future, obviously tell them to back off, but I wouldn't be so blunt about it. He would always know about it. I never hide anything from him. So I would also make sure that he knows that I would never, make him feel like, in order to protect their feelings, I'd say some bad stuff about him. So he knew I always had his back. I hope he knew that.
Yeah, I don't know. And also her family, she has an auntie who always, like from the first time we went there, she always made me feel welcome. And I never, apart from the beginning, like when we first met the first couple of days, after that, they always, like if there's an event or something, family is always asking me, are you okay? Because those events could happen and you just the only black person, multitudes of in them. And our son, I think he's 3 now, but he's very active. Imagine being a black man chasing an Indian colored boy around in the middle of property, and you have to scold him and say. But yeah, we've been through that, and at the beginning it was hard, but now it's okay. It's worked out.
All the difficulties actually came from my side, because from his side, everyone was just so wonderful to me. They were just so welcoming. Even when we went back home to his country, like, I didn't get to feel that I was of a different race or was someone that doesn't belong. They always, yeah.
Not to worry about what other people think, because you could be walking. For me, I don't see her as of a different race, because we've been together for some time. I see her as a human being. But if you're walking in a mall and you see most of the Indian people or any other race, they will look at us and someone will stare at you and they will show that they're looking at you. So it used to nag me at the beginning of our relationship. Every time I could worry about it, it would affect me. And now as time went by, like I don't care about what other people think of me, you know. And that's something I've learned. Like I just, as long as my wife is happy and my kid, because my child doesn't see a black person or Indian, you know, he sees his father and his mother.
My lesson from our relationship is patience.
Say it's me who will be patient. Yeah, you know, when she wants something done, she wants it immediately. And then, I'll do it. Calm down.
Now, not later. He felt some of the burden of that wedding or whatever, because people said, you're marrying an Indian, you brought Indians here, you have money.
I applied for a work permit to stay here. My work permit had expired and I applied again. Yeah. So the date we had chose for the wedding, my permit had not come out again, but I had to go home. So when we got to the airport, they checked, they said, no, you're in overstay. You can't go. And for me, I like as a patience that she's learned. When in hard times, there's a way I calm down. No, and she was stressed at the airport. They pulled me on the side, and she was crying. It's a beautiful story, and our wedding happening, and her brother being there. It's one of the most memorable moments I've had. The officer verified the documents and he made a couple of calls, and then he realized that everything was genuine.
Because he didn't have the actual permit, but he had the proof of, how do you call it?
There's a slip they give you once you apply.
So when he checked out the information on that, I think everything was okay. I love the fact that when we are in difficult situations, he is the most calmest person. Okay, I don't love it when we're in the situation. I love it now when I go back and think about it. Like, whenever we are in whatever it is, it could be even like relating to my personal like work life, whatever it could be, and I could come back with like so much emotions, you know, tell him like this is going on, I'm so frustrating, and we're like, okay, calm down, let's think about it, let's talk about it, let's pray. Those kinds of things, it's what makes me love him and want to be with him some more. It's because he keeps me grounded.
I love everything about her. She's a very loving person, and I thought I was the only one who liked her that much. But then even at our place, all her colleagues, everyone tells me, you're so lucky to have her, you know. She's a very nice person, and every person that gets to know her, they tell me. And even at home, everyone, my mom could call me and they would just call me to ask about her, not about me. That's how much. And they only saw her for a few days.
Yeah, I only stayed for a week. I only stayed for a week.
She's a very good person. And if you get a chance to know her, you also like her. I'm grateful for her, of course, and our son. It gives both of us hope in a way, you know. You know, he will tell me he loves me, he missed me. You know, when I'm only with him, he'll tell me he misses his mom. And when he's with his mom, he say, I miss my father, you know. And you come home and say, and I'll tell her, David was missing you, was waiting for you. So it's those daily things and small things that I'm grateful for, that I've had them in my life.
And also, I think both of us growing up, we didn't actually see acts of love. I don't know if that's how you'd call it or whatever, but it's not something we saw in our households growing up, you know. Women were just doing their thing and the men were doing their. So whatever we're doing, we're just trying to do it together. So I'm grateful that he's with me on that.